This is the GWM Haval H6. It's seen some big changes when it comes to the styling, front and rear, and inside there's new tech as well. I'm going to give you a preview of it in this review before it arrives in Australia in a couple of months' time. Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing. Let's check it out, eh? Full details on the pricing and specs for the updated version of the Haval H6 are still to be confirmed, but you can expect it to come with some familiar powertrain options, including a petrol option, a hybrid, and maybe even a plug-in hybrid, like the one that's offered in the H6 GT plug-in hybrid, which has sportier styling, but we'll have to wait and see whether that one comes down under or not. Now, this competes with the likes of the Toyota RAV4, the Subaru Forester, and those sorts of mid-sized SUVs. I won't go through details of some rivals in this review because, well, don't know what this one's going to cost, but in the existing model it has been pretty assertively priced and well specified. But let's take a look at this changed model and see what has changed. It certainly does have a different aesthetic to it, this new version of the H6, with a completely revised front end, different grille, which looks kind of like a Hyundai Palisade, and those LED daytime running lights running below the headlights. Well, I reckon it looks pretty bloody snazzy. I'll put the dimensions on your screen now so you can see for yourself. It is pretty conventional in terms of the mid-size SUV mindset. And it does have, of course, some black alloy wheels with some hardcore plasticky bits around the bottom of the vehicle to give it that SUV aesthetic. Now, at the rear, it gets a different tail light design. So no horizontal light bar anymore. Instead, you're getting these different looking tail lights, bold badging, and these tail lights actually remind me a lot of the Nissan Qashqai. Let's have a look in the boot and see what we are working with in terms of space. The H6 has always been pretty good when it comes to the boot space, and this one continues to be. As you can see there, the cargo capacity is on screen. It does have a very usable amount of space in the cargo area. You've got some little pockets on either side of the boot as well, a 12-volt port, a light, no shopping bag hooks, which is maybe a little bit of a letdown, but you do get some underfloor storage with a spare wheel, which is excellent. So what do you think? Is it going to size up right for you? Okay, so here's the interior of the updated H6. Now, obviously the steering wheel is on the wrong side here, but it does give you an indication of what to expect when the new H6 arrives down under. Still with a digital instrument cluster for the driver, a head-up display there as well, which is a nice inclusion, and there's this new 14.6-inch touchscreen media system as well. Now, I won't be able to give you much detail on this in this review because, well, it's all in the wrong language and so forth, but it does have a heap of different apps included. You'll be getting Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, of course, as well. And this screen does look very crisp and very clean and, well, semi-usable, I would say. There are no buttons down below though, so everything is through the screen rather than, well, having some controls for some elements. So your climate stuff will be close to the driver's fingertips. For our market, the bar will be on that side, obviously, but look, everything does need to be done through the screen, or you can talk to the car using voice control. Now, that is something that the Chinese brands tend to like. Aussies don't necessarily gel with that quite as well though. Okay, so what about the other elements of this interior? The material finishes are pretty good. A different steering wheel for this one. Nice controls on the steering wheel by the looks of things. It should be a little bit easier to get your head around than the existing vehicle, and decent controls for your window switches. Who would have thought that would be a highlight these days? You've got some controls down there as well, including a electric boot release button and hill descent too. You've got regular vents, which is pretty handy, and you've also got some cup holders between the seats, a wireless phone charger with a vent there to keep things cool, little storage tray here, and a covered center console bin as well. The seats are pretty comfy. They feel similar to the existing ones, but with good support and a decent level of comfort. Obviously, what it's actually like to sit in for a longer distance drive on Australian roads will be still to be confirmed, but subscribe and you'll be notified when I do my local drive. Down below there's also a huge storage section with some extra charging capability. So some nice inclusions here, a column mounted gear selector, which is something that might take some getting used to, but I think that for the most part, it does have a lot of interesting inclusions. Now, let's check out the back seat, see what the space is like. Okay, so this seat is set for about my driving position. I'm 6 foot tall, and look how much space I've got. A decent amount of foot wiggle room there, good knee room. This is one of the things with the Haval H6. It's always been pretty good when it comes to the interior space, and this updated version no different. Plenty of headroom here, and there are some amenities that you'll like. Grab handles and lights on the side. There's a big panoramic glass roof in this particular car, but obviously it's not open right now. Flip down armrest as well with cup holders and nice seat comfort. It's maybe not the most convincing fake leather trim, but I don't think that's necessarily a deal breaker for a car. It's this kind of price point. You've got directional vents, USB-C and A charge ports, map pockets, a flat floor, and ISOFIX points, and 3 top tethers for our market too. So all the amenities and the comfort stuff is pretty well taken care of in the back of the H6. Good one. Full details of the updated H6 lineup in terms of the powertrain offerings are yet to be confirmed, but you can basically bank on there still being a 2-litre turbo petrol engine and also a hybrid powertrain available. Now, the one that will be offered initially is a front-wheel drive hybrid with a good amount of power and torque. There's also an all-wheel drive model, and it will be a pretty interesting option for our market depending on the price. And later this year, we might even see a plug-in hybrid version of the H6, just like the H6 GT, with huge EV driving range, almost 200 Ks of EV driving available for the plug-in hybrid. But we'll have to wait and see how it's all positioned and how it's priced as well. But let's go for a quick drive in this car and see what it's like. Yes, we're in a car park in China. So let's give it a boot full. Lag there. Now that's apparently to protect the clutch packs in the transmission, but it does get up and go once you're up and going. And in terms of the cornering, well, it feels a little softer steering than the existing H6, which I actually thought was pretty good. Okay, a different course with a different H6. This one is the 2-litre turbo with all-wheel drive. The one I just drove was front-wheel drive. So this one is a different, more powerful version. So let's see if we can feel that power when we accelerate away from a standstill. When old mate gets out of the way here, that is. Ready? Here we go. Car park acceleration test. Here we go. That's actually pretty quick. Yeah, certainly faster than that front-wheel drive version. And now we're going to put it through some slalom cones and see how it goes. Whoop. Yeah, a bit of understeer there. But yeah, like I said, we will do more detailed stuff with the Haval H6 in the future. And if you want to see a more detailed review, make sure you subscribe and ring that bell. And well, you'll be notified when I get a chance to drive it somewhere that isn't in a car park in the middle of an industrial complex. I think this new version of the H6 looks great inside and out, and well, it's a pretty practical thing as well. The powertrain offerings will determine its success in our market though, so have your say in the comments and tell us what you think it should come with. Hybrid, plug-in hybrid, turbo petrol, all-wheel drive, make sure you have your say. The people from GWM Australia will be reading those comments. Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you when I see you.